this year is going to be a good year. I don't know about you, but January is one of my best months so far. So God has been good. You know, if you have followed me on social media, you notice that last weekend is when we dedicated our church building. So the month was so good, and I'm trusting God that February will also be a wonderful month. Please do me a favor to share the video. If the sound, if you can help me to see if the sound is okay, but we are trusting God that everything is going to be okay. So February, we are going to look at a relationship. And my husband is here to help me to do that. So let me introduce him, then we will take a few minutes of our time to share the video and invite our friends to come in. So this is a wonderful man of God. I mean, I'm so blessed that I can't even talk about anything, you know, without this man. He has been a blessing to me, and I know that 2020, God is going to continue to bless us as couples. So this month we are doing relationship. He's the best one that I can bring, you know. So welcome, my husband, my bishop, my pastor. Welcome to Woman of Influence.
3 in 1.
Yeah, you are a package.
So much. Thank you so much for
you are a package.
Me. I believe today we're going to have fun. We're going to look at issues pertaining to relationship. In fact, as a church family, our team for the man is family enrichment, and which have to deal with all the aspects of relationship, your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your husband, your relationship with your children, your relationship with your in-laws. So it's family in totality, and looking at how we can be able to raise our children in the fear of God and model our relationship based on God's divine pattern of how he has designed marriages to be. So I'm glad to be here, and I know we're going to be having fun.
Yeah, so we are in February, and Woman of Influence, we are going to really take our time and look at relationship. The February theme that we're going to use is I put something down. I say that when you love deeply, you get hurt deeply. Okay? So when you love deeply, whether you are loving your children, your husband, your friends, whatever you love, when you love very deep, guess what? You get hurt very deep too. But that does not mean that we cannot love. That does not mean we have to stop loving. Okay, so what we have to do is to trust God. Okay, trust God for healing. And most of the times when we talk about people hurting, you think you can just use one day, or you can force healing, but you cannot force healing, and you can't rush healing. Healing takes time. So I don't know where you are, you know, when it comes to relationship. I don't know who have hurt you, but let's put all aside and let's see what we can do to position ourselves very well so God can continue to bless us. But remember, when you love deeply, you get hurt deeply, but God will help you. Okay, God will help you to do this. So thank you so much for joining us. So today we're going to look at some of the things that we can do that is going to really help us to do this. And my husband said it's going to really help us. We're going to take our time. We are going to look today at the 21 reasons why you are not married. So it's really for my single people, because this year I'm trusting every single person that I know that watched the show that God will help us, you know, to have a very good relationship. So Bishop, when we say that 21 reasons why singles are not married, what are some of the reasons? What are some of the reasons?
Today, I believe that's why we want to look at it.
Okay.
And it's not just for singles.
Okay.
If you are married and you don't want to become single, then you need to listen to these reasons also.
Okay.
Because I believe strongly that there's what you do that makes you to be married.
Okay.
And there's also what you do that makes you not to be married. And we want to look at There are many reasons, but I just, for purposes of caption, I just said that 21 reasons why you are not married. And the Bible makes us to understand that in Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, God said, it is not good for man to be alone. And for that matter, a woman to be alone. So, as you can see, it's not God's intention in any way that a person should be alone.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
You know, somebody asked a question, will everybody and should everybody be married? I'm not here to answer that question.
Okay.
But to everybody who desires to be married and you are not yet married, then I will want to give you some reasons to begin to look into your life. And if these things are there, you want to work on it and address them. Because if you don't address them, or until you address them, there's no way you are going to be married. Even though God will want you or desires that He wants you to be married. I've seen many who have fasted, prayed, they have sown seed, they have done all, but they have neglected some basic, physical things that they need to do in order to make their marriage or their marriage come through.
Okay.
So the first reason that I want to bring up as we open up this discussion is the fear of commitment.
Okay.
So the fear of commitment.
When you say the fear of commitment, it means people don't want to be committed to anything.
So a guy, for instance, is afraid of committing in a long-lasting relationship.
Okay.
So when somebody has a fear of commitment, what basically has to do? They want to be able to, come around, eat your food, sleep with you, have that companionship. If they are bored, they come to you, hang around, you go to a restaurant, you come to their house and do it. But they will never take the next step of proposing and, entering into an engagement that leads to marriage.
Wow.
So they are afraid of commitment.
Okay.
Okay. And this, especially on the side of guys. And we have also seen ladies where, I'm having time. I think, I'm young. Let me just be free to do what I want to do. And so they are not ready to commit.
Wow.
And settle down. And when we talk about commitment, a lifetime or the fear of commitment is what you feel like, okay, I don't want to settle down now. I have a lot of things I want to do. I want to be able to have fun. I want to do this. I want to do that. So the lack of commitment or the fear of commitment has caused many, because somebody has come into your relationship. Let's say somebody comes into to you. Okay. And the person is interested in marrying you.
Yeah.
But because you have made up your mind, I'm not ready to commit yet. I have 3 more years to go. I have 4 more years to go. Or I'm trying to do this. So because of that, I am not ready to commit. The person is ready to marry now. So guess what? They move on.
Okay.
And then somebody else comes. They move on.
Yeah. But sweetie, I think that we cannot live our life without not committing to something.
Yeah.
So if you are single and you really, really want to get married, then you have to trust God to give you the grace to be able to be committed.
And that's where maybe another segment, it all comes to planning.
Okay.
Everybody needs to have your personal plans, goals, and developmental agenda.
Okay.
So, for instance, you set goals. By age 25, I want to be married.
Okay.
So, if by age 25, you start planning your life. Okay, most people by 25, they have come out of college, they have a job. So, right there, I want to settle. Somebody can decide, you know what, because I think I'm young, I have time. At 25, at that time, you are blossoming, you are flourishing, you're looking pretty. Because you have to understand that there comes to a time where your beauty is at its peak.
Okay.
And you are going to come to a point, a time where you are also going to start losing your beauty. So at the time where you are blossoming, you are flourishing, your breast is firm, your hips is there, your skin is fresh and nice, and everybody is paying attention and noticing you, it is imperative and important to seize the moment when people are at you, all the nice guys are proposing, they want to date you, and you young man too, you have your 6-pack, you are looking well, and all of that. Please, that's the time to settle. I want to encourage everybody, if you are young, desire to marry early. See, the interesting part here is this, that we don't want to commit, yet we want to do everything that pertains to relationship and marriage.
All right, Bishop. But don't you think, as we are here talking about commitment, don't you think that sometimes both sides, like the lady, Stevie Harvey will say that you are performing everything a married person, a wife, is supposed to do when the guy is not committed. And sometimes the guy, you are paying all the bills, the cell phone, the rent, you are doing all that when the lady haven't committed. So don't you think sometimes we put ourselves in a position that is not right for us to see what God have ordained us to have?
That's also one of the points within the 21 that we are going to talk about, because if the man is getting everything he's supposed to get when he's not yet committed, why should he be committed?
Okay.
You know, so the number one point that really is the reason why you're not married is the fear of commitment. And if you're afraid to commit to a lasting relationship, a joyous and a peaceful relationship that leads to marriage, then how are you going to be married? So that's the number one point.
Okay, so before we go to the second point, I want us to read Genesis 2 verse 18. Genesis 2 verse 18. Let's see what God says concerning us. Because sometimes some people even think that you don't need to be married. I mean, I don't have any problem if that's what you want to do. But those who are still trusting God to do it, you know, that you have to know that it's something that God himself wants it for you. Okay? So Genesis 2 verse 18 says that, and the Lord said, it is not good for a man or a woman should be alone. I will make him a helper. Okay? So, and a helper. So, it's in the will of God for us. Okay? Two is always better than one. So, it is in the will of God for us, each one of us, to have our destiny helpers. People that are going to help us, people that are going to encourage us, somebody that are going to understand you, push you, bring the best out of you. It is in the will of God. Okay, so this year we are trusting God as women of influence, that every one of us who is trusting God to be married, that God will make it possible. So, Bishop, what is the second point?
The second point is when you are too picky.
Oh, my God.
God sends you someone. You are praying, oh, Lord, send me a husband. You know, God always knows what is right for us.
Okay.
And God knows us. God knows our character. God knows our temperament. God knows our makeup. And he knows who can handle you. And on top of that, we are not talking about looks and what you want. Because remember, God will always grant you the desires of your heart. However, when your desires is wrong, God will not meet that.
Wow.
A desire that is right, that is in line with God's purpose and plan for your life, he will honor.
Okay.
But a desire that is against his will. For instance, you looking for somebody who God sees as an abuser. God will not grant that to you.
Okay.
But then he will not force your will. And so some people are picky. You know, they're praying, they are trusting God for a husband, they are trusting God for a wife, they are trusting God for a spouse, and God sends them someone. And then God brings candidate number one. Oh, I don't like him, he's too tall.
Okay.
Yet he has all the characteristics that will fit your personality, and the two of you can become good couples. And then, oh, he doesn't have this job. I'm looking for a doctor. Since he's not a doctor, my friend, who are you? Are you looking for a husband, or you are looking for somebody to make it? You are looking for a certain status.
Okay.
Oh, so you can tell all your girlfriends, I'm married to a lawyer. I'm married to a doctor. I'm married to this. I'm married to that.
Okay.
So when you become too picky, so God keeps sending you potential husbands. God keeps sending you potential wives. But because you are picky, they come and you push them aside. They come and say, oh, I don't want this guy. Oh, no, he's not a lawyer. He's just a warehouse worker. Or he's just a nurse. Or he's this, he's that. He's a pastor. I don't love pastor. Listen, God knows your personality. God knows what you are made of. God knows who you are. And he have the right person that will complement you and then suit you. So it is important we begin to get out of the flesh, especially if you're a Christian, and be sensitive to the Spirit of God and the guidance of God. So another thing that delays people's marriage is pickiness.
Oh, okay.
They are too picky.
Yeah, can we please check the sound? Somebody says it's a little bit low, so can we check and make sure it's up there so they can really understand everything that we are saying? Okay, so we are working on it. Thank you so much, Keisha. Thank you. We're working on it. Kia, thank you. We are working on it. Okay, so if you are talking about somebody, don't being picky, but don't we have kind of our choice to the person that we think we will want to?
I just explained to you that God said, I will grant you the desires of your heart.
Okay.
But you see, a child of God's desires are always in line with God's will and God's word. Okay? I can't be in the church and want to marry a bad boy.
Okay.
Or a bad girl. Because, I've heard people say, well, I don't marry a church girl because church girls are not good in bed. They are so naive. They are so religious and all of that. They can be trained to understand some of these things, which I believe that subsequent these things will deal with that. But you're going to marry somebody who's unsaved, somebody who's on the street with a bad character, who is an abuser. If this is what you are looking for, I don't think that God will bring you that. And usually, because that is what you are desiring, which is not in line with God's will for your life, you neglect the will of God and you go and take this person, and then you end up in a very bad relationship. That's what leads into abusive relationship. That's what makes people's marriage relationship fail.
Yeah.
And people like this usually are not ready also to commit. So you waste 5 years with a person, you have child with a person, you start making babies with a person, and then you realize that the thing doesn't work. You waste your time.
Wow. Okay.
So God has no problem giving you the heart desires, but that desires must be in line with His will. Like I also explained to you, God knows us. He knows our nature. He knows our makeup. He knows your personality, and He knows who will exactly complement you.
Yes, and you also have to know that I think Jeremiah 29 says that I know the plans I have for you.
Yeah.
They are good plans. So although sometimes we have our plans, the plan of God for our life always stands. And if you follow God and you trust in Him, His plan, towards your life will stand, because He knows. Guess what? You can date somebody for 20 years. You can date somebody for 10 years. You can do all that. If they want to hide something from you, they can surely hide it from you. But guess what? The heart of the man, the heart of everybody, God knows everything. So God knows that He will come and abuse it. I don't think He will grant it. So that's very, very important point. Please, if you have a question, you are welcome to ask. If you have any contribution, you are welcome to contribute. Thank you so much. Thank you. Pastor Sandra said something here. Said, we are too busy looking at outward men instead of the heart of the person. We have in our mind what we want, but our prayer should be, Lord, this is the one who will fill my lifestyle, my ministry support, and my goals. Like God should give you somebody who will support you and your goals. It's very, very important. So instead of you looking for the tall and the fat and all those things, I think we have to play the role of God into our life. It's very, very important. So we're going to take the third point. Please make sure you are making notes so it will help you when you meet your girlfriends to share it with them, and so that each one of us can be a very good, influential women that God have called us. And please continue to share the video. If you are in a group, share it. Wherever you are, just share it. Let it be a blessing to somebody. Thank you so much. So, Bishop, what is the third point?
So, third reason why you may not be married by now, or why you are not married now, is lack of money.
Oh,
And
okay.
in this case, it's in the case mainly with a man. You know, if you want to marry, you have to be able to be a good provider. And
Okay.
I don't think that as a father, I want to trust my daughter into the hands of a man who doesn't have a job, doesn't have a livelihood, doesn't have a place to stay, and then I want to give you my daughter to take to where? Sleep in your car, be a homeless person? No. So if you lack money, then it could be a reason why nobody's accepting your proposal. It's the reason why you are on the fourth person or the fifth proposal and they keep turning you down. My friend,
Okay.
you look nice, you are prayerful, and you have a good character, you have good morals, but you don't have money. And so I'm trying to explain and help you to understand that it could be one of the reasons why you are still not married. So go get a job and start
get a job.
saving. And then when you go out, because you can't take no lady to date. All right? But if a person wants to know you, and maybe next week we'll look at the purpose of dating. The word date comes from data, collecting, information, getting to know a person, whether this is the person I want to marry or not.
Yeah.
So if you lack money, which comes from a job, and you don't save the money, how are you going to marry a person?
Wow.
And we are not talking about having a lavish wedding. No. How to make a home, have a place to stay, be able to, feed your wife if you marry that person. So it could be one of the reasons why the ladies are turning you down. And number two, men are also looking for, the world is becoming harder and difficult where one income is not enough to keep a home. So a wife must also contribute something. So if you're a lazy person who is always, wearing high-end, clothes and shoes, you are a fashionista. But then you don't want to work, you don't want to contribute. See, in today's world, nobody wants to marry a lady who just want to come and sit down and to be taken care of without contributing.
That's
all right?
very important.
So if you lack money, it's going to be one of the reasons why that you are not married. It could delay your marriage. So let's get a job. Let's start saving. Let's also bring something to the table. Because we want to build a home together. We want to build a successful future. And please, by the way, money is one of the reasons why couples do argue in marriage.
Yeah, that's very important. And Bishop has said it because when he says that when it comes to money, it's for the men, I was going to add it too, that it's for the women too, because as Bishop said, we're living in a world now that you also have to do something. Please, do something. Help the person. I don't think, sometimes some of us, we are sitting there. You won't even go to school because you are waiting for Mr. Right to come and take you to school. You won't do anything. You are waiting for Mr. Right to come and do everything for you. What can you do for yourself? When people says that I'm waiting for Mr. Right, I always tell them Mr. Right is also looking for Miss Right. So if you are not right, Mr. Right will not attract you. If you decide to be right, then the right person that you are looking for, when a right person see a right person, they know.
Yeah.
All right? So do something. You also do something. If you have to go to school, it's not any man's responsibility to come into your life to take you to school and to do all those things for you. You can go to school. Whilst you are waiting and praying for and trusting God for something to happen, you can start your business. You can do something for yourself. Don't just dress, and whilst we are here, please, just Sunday I was telling somebody, sometimes it's so sad, the way ladies will dress. You are looking for a man to get married, and everything that needs to be concealed, you want to expose it. If my son, if you follow my son home, I won't open the door for you. Me sitting here, I won't open the door for you. And I will tell my son, you cannot go out with her again. Because me sitting here, as much as I can, I covered myself. So my Mr. Right came and I exposed it just for him. But you are trusting God for God to give you a man. And you are always half naked. And you want that to be happening. So please, don't just be half naked walking around.
And
do something for yourself.
I think people think when they dress that way, then it makes them look sexy.
Oh,
it
no.
makes them look attractive. My friend, people are not looking for a sexy person to marry.
Yes.
They're looking for a good woman, a good man to marry. So try to be good, try to be beautiful, try to be handsome, and try to develop yourself. You see, all these things are worldly way of trying to, it's a sedative spirit.
Yeah.
To dress provocatively and to dress, sedatively to try to lure men. It's like you only tell them that I'm only good for sex.
That's it.
And men are looking more than just sex. We are looking for a homemaker. We are looking for a partner. We are looking for a friend. We are looking for somebody with good morals and good character. And that leads to the next point, which is one of the reasons why you are not married. The next point, number 4, is bad character.
Oh my God.
Bad character. And your character is the summation of who you are. Your character is the summation of who you are, your totality. You see, when people look at you and say, oh, that lady, she likes fighting. That lady, she talks too much. That lady, she's a gossip. That lady, what are they doing? They are describing who you are.
Wow.
They are describing your character. We've seen people who a man was interested in, and a friend said, I don't think that you should try that lady.
Wow.
She has a reputation of having a bad character. She's fighting everybody. She quarrels with everybody. She can't hold a job. Everywhere she goes, she ends up fighting with everybody. That is a summation of who you are. Who wants to marry a contentious woman? Somebody who's always quarreling and fighting. Nobody wants to do that. Who wants to marry a man who is always fighting everybody?
Wow.
Who wants to marry a man? So your bad character could be the reason why you have a certain reputation in the community, in that office, in that church. You think, okay, I'm just trying to be myself. I tell it as it is. No, but you have developed a reputation and a character that is making people begin to avoid you. And you've gone out with people and they tell you, your temper is too bad. Well, you have this hot temper. You easily get angry. You can't be corrected. Nobody can have a chat with you. So you go 2-3 days on a date with a person. You call them the 4th time. They don't pick up again.
Wow.
And it does not happen once. It does not happen twice. It does not happen thrice. But it's keep happening again. You have to sit there and ask yourself, why do I keep losing men? Why do I keep losing ladies? It could be your bad character.
Yeah.
All right? So when your character is flawed, it's going to be difficult for you to be married. And sometimes we brush this thing aside. We are in the church, but our character stinks.
Yeah.
You are in the church. You can speak in tongues for 24 hours, but once you finish speaking in tongues, the next, behavior is bad. Nobody can chat you. Nobody can be your friend for a long time because you have this nasty, bad character. And I think that if you don't fix it, then, my friend, you're going to remain single.
Yeah, it's very, very, the bad character, we can't talk enough about it. It's very, very important. I always say that your charisma can take you everywhere. Because when you talk about church, you are this sister holy, everything is fine. You can pray for heaven to come down and everything. But you see, when you are dating people and you are going out with people, they don't look at those things. Okay, they look at the small, small thing. A guy just invites you one night. Okay, let me take you to a restaurant to just have, a dinner. And this is the first date. And you went and ordered the most expensive, things on the menu. Right there, if God doesn't help you, they're not coming back. Okay, because, if I were you, I would just order like water. Because at the end of the day, you don't even know whether the guy can afford or not. He just wants want to see if, if things can
go. If
go.
you can't afford it, why are you taking me out?
No. Sweetie, it's one of those things that you really have to be very careful.
Of course, I understand what you are saying.
Because if you take me out for the first time, okay, me growing up, my mother told me that. So I knew it. If you remember our first date, we went to Golden Tulip. And if that is the night I decided this is the man that is a good man that I can. Because I was working at Ashanti Goldfish. I mean, I go to places, I know places and everything. But in my mind, pastors were broke people. So for you to be able to take me to Golden Tulip, for you to be able to take me to Golden Tulip, that was a plus. I'm like, hey, this guy have a taste. But guess what? If you remember, when we went there, I ordered a pie and like a Coke. Yeah. And even that one, you were forcing me. Because I have gone to Golden Tulip and I know how we can spend there. But in my mind, I'm like, no, I don't want this man to think that I'm for his money or something. So I ordered very simple thing. That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Some people are just not simple.
Yeah.
You want to show the man that you know how to eat steak and all those things. No. Not on first date. Be reasonable.
And it's a date. So the man, like Pastor Victoria is saying, he's observing you. Are you a high end or you are somebody that we can make life with? So I perfectly understand what you are saying. So the next point, 21 reason. The next reason why you are not married is the fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown.
Wow.
I believe that when it comes to marriage, it takes faith. And like Pastor Victoria said earlier on, if somebody wants to hide something from you, they can pretend for a long time. And they can hide it and you will not know. So you have to go with your gut feeling. You have to come to the place where, you know what? I have seen enough. I think this is it. Because some people, they date a person, you see 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and they're where I'm still not sure yet.
Sure,
My friend, how long do you think it's going to take you to make up your mind? And it's only stemming from the fear of unknown. What if I marry him and we can't have a child? And that's what brings those nonsenses. Somebody will tell you, let's have a baby first. If we have a baby, then I know you can give birth. Nonsense.
Yeah,
don't fall for that.
Yeah.
And some of you have fell for that and you're still not married. Okay, because now that you have the child, he said, I still don't like the way when you sleep, you snore. And then because of that, I can't marry you. Or they tell you don't know how to cook. They tell you your jollof is not rice. It's not nice. They tell you your fried rice is not, you don't know how to cook and all of that. So all those nonsenses, my friend, you can't go for that. You have to, the fear of the unknown, keep saying, what's this, if that, my friend, marry. Yeah. A lot of people are not married because of the fear of the unknown.
The fear, yeah.
You know what, if you don't have a child, what if I marry him and he can't take care of me? Well, if you don't marry the person, you will know. You will know, that's true. But then, if you are positive and you put your heart and your mind into that relationship, with the determination that I'm going to this thing and it has to work and I will make it work and I'm willing to pay any price and every price to make it work. Guess what? It's going to work. Fear of the unknown has cost many. Yeah. And they date first one, second one, third one, fourth one. You have become a specialist in changing women. Oh my God. You have become a specialist in changing men. Why? Yeah. Because of fear of the unknown. Yes. Where is your faith? Okay. Where is the faith on which you are building the relationship? Have you prayed about it? Because when you are ready to select or settle down on a person to marry, you have to pray about it. Yeah. And of course, like Pastor Victoria said, you need to know what you are looking for in a husband. Yeah. And I have said several times on this show that look for a person who fears God. Number 2, look for somebody with a sound character. Number 3, look for somebody who will love you as you deserve to be loved. Number 4, you look for somebody who has a job who can take good care of you. If you have these 4, it's enough. Yeah. What else are you looking for? And so if I've checked all these 4, jump into it. Yeah. Because if you are afraid of making that decision, guess what? You're going to stay for a very long time. That's why some people are 35 and they are 40 as a gentleman and you are still not married. Are you potent omnipotent.
And you know, it's very, very important, because at the end of the day, even if Jesus come down, okay, and marry some of us, you will still entertain that fear. But I believe that marriage is a hard work. Okay, so once you are willing to work, and with the help of the Lord, you will succeed. So sitting down and fearing, you don't want to take the decision, it will come to a time that you have noticed that you have spent 10 years, and all that you are doing is just playing with fear. But I think it's my spiritual father says that fear is jumping into a situation. You are afraid, but you take steps. Okay, so that's when you see something. In your fear, you still jump. Fear, you still take a step. In your fear, you still do something. But don't let fear ground you. Yeah. Because that is the plot of the enemy in every aspect of our life. It can be in business, it can be in every aspect. Because of fear, you don't want to take this decision. But I will say that fear and still walk. Fear and still go for it. And God will help you. God will help you. All right, Bishop.
So, the second one is linked to it, because fear of the unknown is a sign that, which is number 7. It's a sign, number 6 actually. Number 6 is a sign that you lack faith.
Ah, okay.
If you are going to marry, you need faith. So if you lack faith, see, you are going to marry somebody you don't know how it's going to turn tomorrow. But then that's where the judgment of character comes in.
Okay.
I've seen this. I've seen that the person fears God. The person loves me. The person has a good job. The person has a good character. And when we talk about character, the person is consistent. Okay. They are who they say they are. This person is not pretending. It's not hiding. I've seen enough. And based on that, I am going to put my faith in this person. I'm going to put my faith in God that this person will do me well and will not change on me. Because the reason why people go into relationship and then it doesn't work is because people decide to change. And again, either they were hiding and pretending to be what they were not, or they change. But then when we put our faith in God and we trust God, God never let us down. So you need our faith in God. You need our faith in the person that you are going to build the relationship with, that the person will be what they say they are going to be to you.
Wow.
It is Victoria needed to have faith in me, and I needed to have faith in her. And this year is going to be 19 years. Since we said I do before God, Christ Temple, 2001 May. And it's a prophetic word that came.
I've stayed with you for 19 years.
Yes.
Wow.
I've done a good job. I've done a good job.
I've given you my life for 19 years. Yes. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Please,
she's just remembering.
Please, if you are watching us, we are talking about some of the reasons, 21 reasons. I know we won't finish today. We'll continue next week if we are not able to finish. But we are talking about 21 reasons why you are not married. That's what we are in now. Please continue to share the video. Tag somebody to come in. Let it be a blessing to them. I mean, if you have a friend who is still fearful not to jump into it, tag the person in. I think it's going to be a blessing too. So the seventh one
is poor judgment in choosing who to date or marry.
Oh, wow.
Poor judgment.
Yeah.
For instance, you keep always choosing the wrong person and accepting to date the wrong person for a long time. And then you keep, they will change. For instance, you meet a guy, he has all the physical things that you were desiring in a guy. The lady has all the physical, things that the person, you were looking for in a potential lady. Okay. And then you decided to start dating with the person. And then you start seeing signs. And when you saw the signs, you realize that, no, this guy is not for me. But you were secretly hoping that the person would change.
Will change.
Okay? And you keep going again and again for, like, an abusive person, a liar, a thief, somebody who is not faithful, somebody with a bad character, all the people you keep selecting and choosing, it has to do with your personality. And until you change what is inside you that keep attracting you to the wrong people, why your judgment when it comes to character, why your judgment when it comes to who to date, who to marry is always wrong, then until you correct that, you will always be making that wrong judgment, and which is leading to nowhere.
Yes.
So you always give your heart to the wrong people. They abuse you, they sleep with you, and guess what? They cut and run.
Wow.
Some of them come and borrow money from you, they impregnate you, and then they run. And you are wondering why you are still not married.
Wow.
Because you keep making the wrong judgment, dating the wrong people, choosing to go out with the wrong people, marrying the wrong person who just came there just to have fun. Now some guys, they don't care. You say, let's go to the court.
They will go.
They will go to the court with you. They will go and buy, put the ring on a credit card and just slip with you and end up stealing your money to pay the credit card off and jump and leave you. And you get hurt. We've seen this thing happen in the church, happen outside the church. Pastors, pastor ladies have been caught in this. And so be careful out there. When you keep choosing wrong people again and again, you went out with this person, you've had baby with this person, you had sex with that person. All these things is the reason why you are still not married. Wrong judgment in choosing wrong people. Bad judgment in choosing and dating the wrong people is another reason why a lot of people are still not married.
And it's I mean, Bishop, I've said it. And I think I even mentioned it earlier that when people say they are waiting for Mr. Right, okay, you have to be right. And I think sometimes I opened the show saying, because this is what God gave me this morning about February, and that's our team. When you love deeply, you get hurt deeply, okay? But that does not mean that we have to stop loving. So we have to trust God for the process of healing. And you can't rush healing. You can't jump on healing. You have to take your time. But guess what? Sometimes I think there is something inside us that attracts wrong people coming to us.
Yeah.
Because what you think you are, that's how people see you. I remember growing up, my mother always told us, if you don't respect yourself, if you don't see yourself as good, if you are not confident in your own skin, the people around you will not respect you.
Yeah.
People around you will not have confidence in you. So whatever is in you, that's what you are going to attract. So if you keep on attracting wrong people, please sit down and pray for God to help you.
Exactly.
Deal with something in your heart.
Yeah.
Deal with something, because of course there is something that is making you go for a wrong person. And ladies, please, let me say it right here. You are not anybody's mother. Okay? You are not anybody's mother. And you are not the Holy Ghost. And you are not God. You cannot change anybody. So those of you who are in abusive relationship, they are stamping on you, spitting on you, saying words that cut your soul. And you are still sitting down there sleeping with them. Is there something wrong with you? Are you mental?
And some people see that as love.
No,
when a person slaps you in the face,
not.
And then, oh, I love you, so let's go to bed and go and
Please.
sleep. And then he sleeps with
Crazy.
you and tells, oh, this is a makeup sex. And
Oh, Jesus, help
you
me.
losing your head.
You losing is mental.
Don't sit there until you are destroyed and killed.
No.
So
No.
it's the wrong judgment. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And that could be the reason why you are not married. And please, if statistics has also shown that when people have come out of abusive home, and that's all they grew up with, they think that's what they deserve. Because they saw their father doing that to their mother.
No.
And they saw their mother, being abused. They think that's how life is supposed to be. No, that's not how life is supposed to be. And so, again, that's why we tell you, how you present yourself will also determine the kind of people you attract. If you dress provocatively or sedatively, people are just going to see you as good for sex only.
Yeah.
And so when people see you, you are only enticing and appealing to only their sexual appetite. So they will come there and think that's all. As soon as they sleep with you, they are gone. And you ask them, where are they going? Well, this is what you portrayed to me, and I gave it to you, so I'm leaving.
Yeah.
That could be one of the reasons why you are not married till now. And good men knows when they see a good woman.
Yes, that's
and when
true.
they see that, okay, this person is just for a sexual appeal, that's not what they are looking for. So you are nice, you are beautiful, they will compliment your beauty, but guess what? They're not going to settle and marry you.
Yes, and I think Stephen Harvey says something in his book. He says that every man know the exact lady they want to marry. And even when they are players, when they see you, they will stop. They will know that this is my full stop. So you too, don't compromise. Please, lady, let's stop behaving like wives when we are not wives. It's an insult for somebody to always call you my baby mother, my baby. It's not a
just
fun.
doesn't make sense.
It's not a fun. It's not a fun.
Baby mama.
You
baby
are
daddy.
you are bigger than that. You are bigger than that. Trust God for the one that God knows is good for you, and position yourself. Position yourself. When I say position yourself, it means that when they see you, because Stephen Harvey said when he saw the wife, he knew he had to stop all his foolishness.
Yeah.
And they've been married for all this while. So can you position yourself in a while that when the man sees you, he knows that, okay, this is it. I'm not going anywhere again. All right? I think that will help us this year. 2020
please
is a
ask
good
questions.
year.
We want
okay?
to ask questions. If you have any questions, please type your questions. We'll be glad to answer your questions if you do have some. And as we move to the number 8, 21 reasons why you are not married. We are now on number 8. Number 8 is having a bad reputation in society. Having a bad reputation. You know, I said bad character, but now you have a reputation. You know, a reputation is people's perception about you in community, in society. You know, you're known for sleeping around. And everybody, the rumor is out there that, oh, I saw this lady, she has slept with everybody in the church, she has slept with all the guys, you know, and sometimes it could be that you have not even done that, but you have a bad reputation.
Wow.
And you have that bad reputation because of the way you carry yourself. And it's the same thing Pastor Victoria is talking about. If you don't carry yourself well, you begin to have certain kinds of reputation that may not really reflect who you truly are.
That's it.
So bad reputation can also delay your marriage. Bad reputation can make people begin to have false, you know, image about you. But if you are known, today you are going out with Joe Pasasa. The next time you are with Frankie. The next time you are with, you know, this Billy J. The next time you are with this person. Yeah, so now you have developed a reputation.
Wow.
Now they see you in this guy's car. The next time you are in this person's car, the next time you are in that part, you are beginning to have a certain kind of reputation that even mothers, elderly women, they see you. You know, today a different man has come to visit you in your apartment. The next time, this one has come to visit you in the apartment. So men they are wondering, is this lady a prostitute? Why is her house busy? And it's only guys who are coming there. All right? You a gentleman also, you have a certain kind of reputation. A lazy guy, you don't keep a job. You can't keep a job. You know, you only impregnate ladies and then you run away. Guess what? Nobody wants to accept your proposal and marry you. So a bad reputation could also be a major and a key reason why you are not married up to now. So if 2020 want to marry, make sure you change your reputation. Become particular and be intentional in how you let people perceive you. You know, there are some things I won't do.
Yes.
I won't do. There are some places I won't go because I don't want to be perceived in a certain kind of way. And your reputation is who you are.
That's
and
it.
it is key and it's important. All right? Because when people are asked to write about you, they're going to sum up your reputation, who you are, how they see you, how they perceive you. So watch out and be careful.
It's very, very important. And you don't want people to tag you. oh, I for this one, this who she is, or I for this one, this is who he is. Please, we trust in God that 2020 is going to be the best year. So let's trust God. You know, I've been saying let's trust God. I think I've said it again and again because that is who I am. I trust God in every aspect of my life. So you to trust God, okay? Trust God and put some things aside. Trust God and stop doing some things that is not taking you anywhere, okay? When somebody is working with you, would somebody call them and say that, hey, you don't know who you are working with? Or would somebody call them and say that, oh, for this lady, you are blessed to have. Okay, so let's trust God to make sure that we put some things aside and we look forward for 2020. I know it's going to be a good year. We will do that and we will bring the show to an end.
There's a question here. What do you say about people who have soul ties to where they can't seem to let go? Yeah, that's a very important.
You need prayer.
That's a very important question.
Yeah.
And it's a reality, ladies and gentlemen. That is why you should not just see sex as a physical thing. And for the Bible, Paul writing to the church of Corinthians, made them to know that, don't you know that when you sleep with an harlot, you become one with a person? And the human spirit is a very interesting component of a man. The Bible speaks about the madman of Gadara, how about 6,000 plus demons was in one person.
Wow.
And you have no idea who you are sleeping with, what spirit they are carrying, how many demons are in them. This is what brings soul tie. And usually, when you sleep with somebody, a piece of you and a piece of the person is deposited in you.
That's it.
That is why when you get saved and you are in the church, you need spiritual detox. You need deliverance. You need cleansing. And especially when you keep having dreams and seeing yourself again and again sleeping with people or people are sleeping with you, it means that there is a demonic deposit inside you that must be terminated. We are not talking about there's this term that we use, bedwet or whatever. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where you consistently see yourself, like somebody sleeping with you or you're having sex. It means that something's wrong. But soul tie sometimes has to also do with exchange of words. You've made vows to each other. We'll be together forever. We're not going to separate and blah, blah, blah. And then you see yourself that, oh, guess what? This is not a person for me. The person went their way. You also went your way. And then there's a soul tie. It has to be broken consciously by an anointed man or woman of God. And it's important you do that, because if you don't do that, it can also stop you from getting married. Somebody claim you are mine, and you are mine forever. You can even go ahead and marry. See, that's what when we give reasons why people even divorce. You didn't divorce because you married the wrong person.
Yeah.
You divorced because your soul is already tied to somebody. And because you don't understand spiritual things, you couldn't even realize and break it before entering into another vow with somebody else. So it's key and important that we break it. Now we've done 9. I don't know what you want to do.
Yes, we've done 9. And next week we're going to continue, because I want us to really take our time to go through all that, and so that at least it will really prepare us. And then the third week, we will also look at some guys and girls that you don't even want to date before you even think about marriage. Then before we end the month, we are going to do a marriage. Hopefully, I will get another person to join us here. Then we will really take our time and do it. So please continue to share the video with somebody. Tag somebody to come in. And remember that I said in February that if you love deeply, you will get hurt deeply too. So make sure that as love is what we are made of, we have to love. Whatever we are doing, we still have to love. So make sure you position yourself not to be hurt. Because sometimes I think we open ourselves up for unnecessary hurt. Then you say, oh, this one broke my heart. The guy was just taking you out. Then you get to his gate, he said, come in. Then you too, you went in. It was just a date. Now you're on his bed. Then tomorrow you get to know somebody was there. Then you say that, oh, you broke my heart. It's your foolishness. Why should you go and sleep with somebody for the first date? It's your own foolishness. But this year, I'm trusting God that God will help us. So don't open yourself up for unnecessary hate, okay? And let's trust God that things is going to be very, very good for us 2020. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today. God bless you. Just go out there and be the powerful man and woman of influence you are. And please remember that November, this February is going to be the best month ever. Join us again the same time Tuesday, okay? God bless you. Bishop, your last words?
Yeah, well, I want to invite you, if you live in the Metro Atlanta area, we are starting a very important business and entrepreneur boot camp every Sunday morning from 8:30 to 9:30. So if God has put on your heart, you have your own business, you want to start a business, it's a very powerful, educative, empowering seminar to help everybody who wants to start their own business, or you have your business, you want to move it to the next level. It's at our Grace Place, 589 Winder Highway in Lawrenceville, 30045, and come and be part of it. And also want to invite you to worship with us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Jesus lives here. He visits every other place. We look forward to see you.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
and please follow us on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it so when you miss the show, all the shows are there so you can go there. And also we are on podcast now. So follow us on all our social media, and I think it's going to be a blessing to you. Thank you. I will see you next Tuesday. God bless you. Bye-bye. God bless you. Bye. Hallelujah. Yes, so just continue to share the video with somebody. If we are in a group, the best thing is to share it with them. The information we put on here is a very, very good information, and you don't want to enjoy it by yourself. So continue to share the video.